Cincinnati Bengals, your 2021 Super Bowl runner-up. Cincinnati Bengals. Last year, when you thought, how could it get any better for the Cincinnati Bengals? And then this offseason,
I have an idea.
Yeah, this offseason rolled around and they went, oh, we have one glaring need. Let's just take care of that in free agency.
Let's just do all of it. I mean, damn near the only player left is Jonah Williams. Still maintain his guard, but can't fix everything in one offseason, I suppose.
Well, I don't know about that. They do have draft picks to use as well. We will give you the best and worst signings of this offseason for the Cincinnati Bengals, their draft needs going into the 2022 NFL Draft, and, of course, the ever-important overall free agency grade for the Cincinnati Bengals. Here in the Sportsocracy, coming to you from the Ingles studio. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings, and best signing of the offseason.
To me, it has to be Lyle Collins.
I want to say that. I mean, all of the signings on the offensive line have been great.
Alex Cappa, Ted Karras, they're all good. And they're all value guys, too.
Yep.
Not one of these guys is overpaid, which is remarkable to me. When I saw the number on Lyle Collins, I about fell on the floor. I genuinely thought it would be at least $4 million more a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's an elite right tackle in this league. That changes a lot for this team. As I've said, I do not buy Jonah Williams as a left tackle, and I never have. But you still have the draft capital, if you agree with me, to add a Trevor Penning or someone like that, because he has fallen a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say it stays exactly the way it is. You have done such a tremendous job of boosting that line that now you are – I still would favor the Bills to be the AFC champion, but you're right behind them.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. My number one goal for Cincinnati coming into the offseason, other than the offensive line, was to retain Jessie Bates. And so when they did that with the franchise tag, I think that also needs to be said, at least as a 1A to the best signings of the free agency period. If you had to pick a worst signing for the Cincinnati Bengals, who would it be?
Mine is contingent, because I will say it's Eli Apple if you're planning on him being one of your starting outside corners.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've said the entire time that they are one of the teams in the running for Stephon Gilmore, and I still think that to be true. I also think you could draft one. To me, that's one of their biggest needs at this point. And his team doesn't need much. At this point, it's just filling slot.
Right.
Because this is one of the most talented rosters in the league, specifically offensively. So, I mean, if I had to say one, I would say Eli Apple. I mean, I could loosely say Hayden Hurst, but I think you got the same level of talent as C.J. Uzomah for drastically less.
Yeah, I think the Eli Apple signing for $4 million a year was the worst that they had, and it's not even close in my book. But
and even saying that, I'm not dinging that in any way.
No.
To me, that's a depth piece with the intention of bringing in another corner on the other side of Awuzia.
Speaking of draft needs for the Cincinnati Bengals, to me, it starts with corner.
I would say it starts with corner. I would like to have one more offensive lineman. I would like to have another piece to the defensive line, just a rotational piece, if for nothing else. And then I come to linebacker. I know every Bengals fan thinks you do not need a linebacker. I cannot vehemently disagree with you enough.
I do too.
You know, I like Wilson a lot. He had a good run in the playoffs. That's one of the two. I still feel like you need an impact linebacker. To me, Troy Anderson out of Montana State is just destined to be a Cincinnati Bengal, and I would absolutely love it.
I also feel like you should take a shot on a tight end in this draft because you're going to get one for a value, a good one.
And there are a lot of them in this draft
right.
that can come in and play as the two behind Hayden Hurst, who's more of a blocker than he is anything. I think he will be fine as a starting tight end, being behind Kyle Pitts and the different – or not Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I was right. Playing that way, that's the reason your numbers are so bad. Given the opportunity, I think he can be a much better tight end. I mean, I think he's one of the 20, 25 best tight ends in this league. And he's a better blocker than most. But I would like to have that pass-catching option.
Yeah, you got him on a one-year deal, draft one, and then you might have a tight end for the future. I don't know, like a Charlie Kohler or somebody like that.
I love Charlie Kohler, and I would love him on this team.
Yeah.
If you would like to see what the Cincinnati Bengals got in our last mock draft, you can click right here. It's in my hands.
and subscribe to the channel so you get all of our team-by-team content throughout the Draftmas season. What is the free agency grade for the Cincinnati Bengals, and why is it an A+?
I'm right there with you. And I don't give out A+s nearly as liberally as you do. No. You hand them out like Democrats hand out everything, all of the things. And for me, they're very rare.
Yeah.
In the 10 years I've been doing the draft, I think I've given out 6 A+s ever, and 2 of them were last year. This is an A+. Mm-hmm. You had one huge prevailing need. You have filled it. Now you go into the draft. You don't have to do anything. You can just take the player that you're in love with, and that's how good teams get great. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I think is getting ready to happen with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Also, when you subscribe to the channel, you'll get the alert every time we are live here in the Ingalls studio, 3 o'clock weekday afternoons. Be sure to join us, and we will see you next time. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Who do they think will beat them